everyone. We'll go ahead and call our March 16th Airport Commission meeting to order.
Greg Collier,
Here.
Joel Gardner,
Here.
Cameron McCarron,
Here.
Micah Thomason,
Here.
Steve Smith,
Yes.
Neil Johnson,
Here.
Bill Schoonover.
All right. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes from last month?
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
I'd like to make a motion, we approve the minutes from the last meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. All right, minutes passed. Comments from the audience. We got a few faces here. Some of you guys, I think, are just from the chamber, but if anyone has a minute, you have 5 minutes, actually. If you have anything that you'd like to present to the commission today.
If you're an agenda item, we'll call you.
Yes, thank you. All right, so actually you're up, Amanda from Cowboy Diner.
I'm grateful to have y'all and, be in the restaurant, but I would like to alter my hours some. I'd like to move them from 9 to 3 every day with the exception of Sunday, it'd be 10 to 2.
So tell us, refresh our memories on your current hours.
7 a.m. to 3 and then 5 to 9. And dinner, I'm not getting hardly anybody. I can go days at a time without even getting a table at night. So I'm still not giving up, but this will cut my hours a little bit to where I get a little bit more rest because I'm still working 6 days a week and I'm there every day like I'm supposed to. I've only missed one. I sent James a doctor's note. I sprained my ankle. I was in the emergency room. But I've stayed there every day and, we've gotten 6 5-star ratings, so we're doing really good. I'm pushing forward to still do really good, but I'd like to do more events for the evenings. So sort of like I did my Valentine's Day thing, I did 2 people, 4 courses, $60. But get more people to fly in to do stuff like that at night. So I'd be guaranteed clients. So I'm not wasting gas and utilities and my own time.
So what are your thoughts on, with the time change and days being longer, do you think that will affect you negatively, positively?
I'm
dinner?
hoping it'll positively affect me. But like I've been explained before, I have to adhere to these hours. So I would like to put 9 to 3, please, with the notation that I am a businesswoman. If I see people coming, I'm not going to close my doors. I'm going to stay open for these people.
Yeah,
but-
but you won't see them if you leave at 3 if they're coming for dinner.
Oh, on dinner, I'll leave a note out, and they're more than welcome, because I only live like 6 minutes away, 7 minutes away. I don't mind coming over and opening for any parties. And it's like the Life Flight people that do come in every once in a while, they have my private number, and they've texted me orders before. So that way they can have their stuff there for like catering purposes for the doctors' teams. So,
Questions?
You're not getting any early morning business?
no, sir. They have free coffee, tea, and water downstairs. So most of the people that come in early morning, they're usually in a rush to get mostly to the hospital or to business meetings. So they grab the coffee and just run because they got to go. They're in a hurry. They don't usually sit and stop. The first Saturday of the month, I have Gary's Flight Club that comes in. I'd still be there for make sure I'm open early for his flight club because that's usually 20 to 30 people. So.
Okay. Mike?
How's your lunches doing? Everything going good there?
I mean, it's staying consistent. Rain affects me and wind, of course, because it is an airport. Primarily, most of my clientele is brought in from the airport, not as much from the outside world. It's really hard, the driveway. I get a call at least once a week. How do I get in here? And I'm like, you have to go to where the marquee is and turn and follow. I always call it the NASCAR driveway because you got those hairpin turns. So, but I'm working on getting more outside people, and I'm still campaigning, and I still see me being a long-term resident here for y'all. And, I'm trying to keep quality of service and quality of food. So,
this is your business, obviously, but when you guys first came, I asked what your thoughts were from a marketing standpoint. And I'm going from memory and I'm paraphrasing, but I think it was basically just from word of mouth. is what you were
Yeah, and we get
considering.
a lot, we still get new people. We average 5 to 6 new people a week, which is pretty good. But I've got a good general base right now of people, of regulars that come in. I have one regular couple, they've only missed one weekend since I've been there, and they're every weekend there. And they fly into that airport, and normally if the weather's good, they fly in and put gas. And they're residents of Huntsville. And I have other people that fly in from Tulsa. And like, I have 2 different apps that I'm on for the pilots with my telephone number. And I'm very accessible. You call my number, I'll answer. You know, and I'm still pushing, like, I've had some problems, Facebook's not letting me log in for my own, but we're still pushing it off our food truck. And our food truck's over there in Sonora, so we're pushing everybody here. Hey, we've got an actual walk-in brick and mortar. Y'all can still come over here, but here's our brick and mortar. Go try them out, you know?
Okay. So the 5 or 6 new customers a week, those are lunch customers.
Yeah, lunch is my busiest time. I mean, and I'm not gonna say it's during lunchtime because a lot of people will come in and order breakfast because I do serve the breakfast all day. A lot of people are really loving that. But my busiest hours are definitely 11 to 1, 11 to 1:30-ish, any given time. On the weekends, when it's pretty, they love to come in on the Saturdays and Sundays. And, you know, I've been positively impacted. You know, Cameron's big on telling me, hey, you know, keep positive, and he's helping me try and market further. He helped push me out for Valentine's Day. We had a little bit of rough Valentine's Day due to weather, but
I would think with warmer weather coming, being right on the trail, that
I'm
would
hoping to get
help
more
as well.
business, yeah. But like I've been reminded that whatever my hours are based here, I have to adhere to. Now, have no problem, like I've said before, staying late at any point. If I see more business coming in at 3, I'll extend my hours. But what the hours are written here, I'll get in trouble if I don't adhere to my hours.
Do you
And-
feel like Friday and Saturdays are busier than Tuesday through Thursday?
Tuesday's busy because it's 4 for $5 tacos normally. And they eat that up.
I mean evenings. Do you feel like people come out more in the evenings?
No, not really on the weekends.
'Cause that would have been my compromise, is that we could maybe keep one weekend night available.
I mean, I'm willing to compromise with y'all. I can run a couple months on one weekend night if you want to pick one for me. I'm
What do you guys
willing to
think of that
compromise.
I like
Yeah,
that.
instead of just shutting down all evening service, have an evening service, and if after a few months you don't feel like because you may find that that's busy, and then it makes it really obvious, open the other weekend night. And then
That's fine.
Maybe grow that way.
I don't mind compromise. I'm absolutely, it bites to sit there every day from 5 to 9 and not have anybody.
Do you get much outside on Sundays?
Outside business, sometimes it just depends on what's going on in the area. If we have events in Springdale, I've noticed sometimes we'll get people that have small children. They like to tour the airport and watch the planes go in and out, but a lot of that pins the weather.
Yeah, I thought maybe when the weather gets better.
That's what I'm
Sunday-
hoping is
Sunday
when
brunch.
summer hits.
Yeah, Sunday brunch or something like that, where they just get out.
That's what I'm in hopes of too, is getting Sunday brunch bigger. And, you know, the alcohol license is still in sight, but I just got to get more profitable because it does cost more on the alcohol license and the insurance for the alcohol license to be in the proper, legit part of the law.
Have you applied for your license?
No, not yet. It's $8,500 for that, plus $3,000 in addition to what I already pay for my insurance to serve alcohol.
Did I hear you correctly? $8,500 to apply for a beer and liquor license or beer and wine license?
That's what the state told me. I had to pay $8,500 for that application.
I'll check on that for you.
Okay. Well, that's what the one
Seems a
lady in
little
Little Rock was
excessive.
trying to tell me.
That's a full alcohol.
That must be full alcohol then, alcohol, or liquor and beer and wine.
Last one I
Isn't beer and
applied for.
wine's a
Beer and
different
wine is like
category?
$7.50.
Yeah, you can get a beer and wine a lot cheaper.
Okay. Well, that's what they told me down there. So I might have to go whenever I have the money to apply because I have to have the money to be able to apply. But that's just what they generally told me. And then whenever I, checked with my insurance that I have for the restaurant and the food truck, that's what they said.
So let's back up to where we started. What are you asking us for?
I would like 9 to 3. We can compromise on a weekend day if you want to pick Friday or Saturday. I'll stay open one of those nights. And then 10 to 2 for right now. Because I can always stay later than what we agree to. But I can't close any earlier. I'll get in trouble.
9 to 3, what days?
Every day except for Wednesday, because that's my day off. And then Sunday, 10 to 2, because
So
I don't
you're
ever,
closed- You're closed on Wednesday.
yes, sir. Because I feel like Mondays, people come in and, you know, Mondays should be a busy day.
Yeah, because everybody else is closed.
Everybody else is closed. Wednesdays is kind of like the middle of the week, the church day, and some people are broker before payday. So that's why I chose Wednesday to begin with. It's an odd day out to be closed, but it is the middle of the week, and, you know, funds are kind of tight with some people.
How do we check the pulse of whether we have call for it earlier or not? You know what I mean? Like if we do 9 to 3, but then all of a sudden we start realizing weather changes, time changes, people are out more active, and all of a sudden we have people showing up. I mean, Daniel, are you able to report something? I mean, could you tell us something like that?
She does come down every day pretty much and talks to all of us and gauges the
Yeah, I-
interest and that kind of thing. too.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
she's,
I would be all for, because you're not gonna, I mean, I'm not a restaurant person, I don't know the restaurant business, but if you're able to be open and busy from 8 until 8 o'clock at night, then you're gonna make a lot more, be a lot more successful than you will be if we shut these hours down. But I also understand that you feel like you're wasting a lot of time sitting there, so I would just, whatever change we make, I would not think of it as a permanent change, I would think of it as something that we're doing for a temporary time period and then reevaluate, rather than just saying, we're gonna shorten the hours like that.
My thing is kind of like rules. I can go outside of those, but I can't go in them. I'll get in trouble.
I understand that those are the minimum hours.
Yeah.
I understand.
And I have no problem staying late.
I can actively reflect that around 5:30, we're just about done in the terminal and my guys are wrapping up and it can really desert really fast. I'm there till 7 a lot of the nights of the week and it just, you know, we're wrapping our stuff up and there's really nobody walking through, maybe a couple here and there, but that's about it.
Your potential in the morning is better than the evening, I'm sure.
Yep.
But
I'm just wondering if 9 is too late for some people on breakfast. You know, maybe we could back it up to 8 to 3 or something like that.
I would compromise 8 to 3, and I can come back in a couple of months, and if I don't see any more business at the 8 to 3. I mean, I don't mind compromising some, but
You said you're opening at 7 right now?
yeah.
Okay.
And normally, I don't see anybody but Kevin, the one guy that does the fuel, before 9 o'clock in the morning. He's about the only person I get at that time. I've had like 2 other people in the 3 months come in, you know, 7:30-ish, but never at 7 o'clock. Nobody's ever waiting for me.
Well, and I appreciate what you're saying, but I also know in years past, quite a few years past, that was a go-to place for breakfast. And they did
It
a
was.
big portion of their business for breakfast. So I know it can come back because it's been there before.
It's gonna take a lot of hard work to replace all the bad stuff that the guy previously did. I'm having to
Well,
work my,
let's not talk about someone else, but how do we move forward with
I
growing
mean,
your
they just
business?
gotta consistently see that, hey, guys, I'm here. Hey, the food's amazing. Hey, the service matters. They care about me. They come, you know, it's gotta be consistency. Consistency is key in any restaurant, is being there the hours you're supposed to be, having good quality food all the time, not just sometimes, you know. And that's a big importance. That's why I'm here. I'm here 99% of the time there, you know.
Hey,
Any other
Daniel,
questions?
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. How early do you see some of our jet traffic come in the mornings? Is it coming in at 7? Is it coming in at 8? You know, some of, you know, like children's and things like that. What time do they typically arrive at the airport?
Children's will get in around 8 and 8:30. A lot of the base traffic will depart between 6 and 7. When we open, you know, we've got usually a list of pool and fuel, you know, but they're ready to go, hop on the plane and just get out. But as far as transient traffic that might use the restaurant, you're looking at like the pilots for those planes because the passengers are in and out, going getting their business done. So I'm between 7 and 10. That's when we're really expect our rush coming in for us at least.
Okay.
I think the reason I'm encouraging this open earlier is because I think your breakfast traffic is better than obviously your evening. And some of these planes coming in, dropping people off for business and stuff, you got some pilots that, if these people are getting here at 8 o'clock, 8 to 8:30 or 9, between 8 and 9, there might be some pilots that come in there and want to use
want some breakfast.
the restaurant.
That's kind of what I was thinking too, is maybe the business people are grabbing coffee and going to their meetings, but the pilots are still sitting there, and maybe they want breakfast.
I think you need to give it a chance in the mornings a little bit more, so I would encourage you to, and I would recommend that you at least back it up to 8 o'clock.
Okay.
So from what we've discussed, Monday, Tuesday, 8 to 3, Wednesday off, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 8 to 3, Sunday, 10 to 2.
Okay.
Is that what we're in consensus on?
That would be my recommendation as well.
You still want to try?
And if I may just weigh in for a moment, Chairman.
Sure.
We're still only in the business of collecting rent for that spot. We're not in the business of conducting a restaurant. Amanda's a professional. She has a very successful business already. She knows how to grow a business. And for her to have to come here to ask our permission to do her job, I think is abhorrent. She should be able to come here and say, this is what I'm recommending we do, and notify us of what her job is. She's smart enough to be able to get with Daniel and say, when are the flights coming in? When are my
Well,
possible
but she
customers coming in? I just think she needs to be able to run her business and not ask us for permission to run her business.
Well, she's not
That's-
asking for permission, she's asking
She
to
is.
change her hours.
That's- and
They're
she's
in the
asking for
contract,
permission.
So that's why
Yeah.
she's here.
Yeah,
That- that
I
has to
don't
be
think
done.
we should be doing that. That's my position.
Any other questions? Let's take a roll call vote on, are you clear with what,
Yeah, but you didn't establish which night shift you want me to stay for.
We're not gonna do
Friday
a
or-
night shift.
Okay,
I think no night shift.
okay. I don't mind doing events. I'll get with Daniel once a month and send out emails with Cameron. I have no problem
I
with
think if you do that, then you can
creating
be
events.
more precise with the days that you're gonna do it. So if
Yeah.
it's not every Friday and you have a slow Friday, but you can be more precise with that. And as you grow that, I think you'll have more, I mean, if you have good events and people come and enjoy it, I think they're gonna ask for that.
Yeah.
My family can't come eat Monday through Friday. Like I'm at work.
Yeah.
So, like, it would be the weekend option, right? So
Yep.
like, it would just give us an opportunity.
Okay,
That's all I was thinking, is if we come to an event on a Friday night and it works really well, the kids are gonna wanna eat there. Like, we saw the airplanes and whatever, like, they're gonna want that, so.
well, I'm also working with some of the homeschool. There's a homeschool group for Northwest Arkansas. Cameron tours kids through all the time, trying to get like some sort of story hour. I just got to find the appropriate person to be able to come and read the books that I can find that would be plain event type thing. So I am trying to market to different markets. I haven't given up hope. It's just I'm quite tired. I work 76 hours a week and I'm there and I care. So I'm just a little worn.
You're just asking us for some flexibility. in your-
Flexibility,
in your
yes. I'm
schedule.
tired. I will adhere to the hours and I have no problem. Any one of y'all can have my cell phone number and text me at night and be like, hey, Amanda, I'd like 5 cheeseburgers for my family. I'll have no problem. I have a food truck also. So I can bounce between the restaurant or food truck for supplying people's food needs. That's not an issue.
And just so everybody knows, Amanda and her team has been doing a wonderful job at the
And
airport.
we certainly appreciate you.
They have been doing a great job.
Let's take a roll call vote to approve the hour change.
Johnson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Thomason,
Yes,
Schoonover, McCarron,
Yes.
Collier,
Yes.
Gardner.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
So I'm good to go?
good to go.
Okay.
Thanks for
Thank
coming to
you.
see us.
Thanks, Amanda.
Y'all shouldn't see me for a while. I'll go back to my restaurant and behave.
Hopefully we will see you.
Well, no, because if I come here, I need something.
Well, we're gonna come see
I don't
you.
want to need anything for y'all.
We're gonna
I'll be
come see you.
successful. Oh, yeah, come see me in the restaurant anytime.
All right,
Don't forget the tacos for five, that's a good deal.
got it.
Taco Tuesday.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right, Daniel, Summit Aviation
I think
update.
it's 4 tacos for $5.
It is, but that's how she gets you, the wording.
Yeah,
But- But the tacos are good. The tacos are good. All right, it's great to be back. All right, just a quick recap. You've got all the numbers that I've sent to you. February into March, we did see a pretty healthy rebound. I'm pretty comfortable with that. healthy rebound in both activities and fuel sales, recovering to normal expected levels. They're not outstanding, but we're back to what, we should expect to be seeing throughout, from month to month. I'm continuing to build a waiting list for turbine aircraft, specifically turbine aircraft, trying to get to Springdale. That's not including the aircraft that are going into the new hangar. I think I've got 6 people on the waiting list right now that are, I'd like to say they're just waiting on a phone call. There's a little bit more to it than that, but basically they want to know that we've got hangar space and they'd like to have their aircraft with us, with Springdale, in some way. So just to let you guys know that need is still there and growing, which I wasn't really expecting after I filled all my spots in the new hangar. And then finally, I've got, again, my fly-in scheduled for April 15th, Saturday, April 15th, with an alternate date of the 22nd if we're rained out on the first day. Planning's coming along really nicely. The Harbor High School aviation curriculum students are doing 90% of the legwork for that. They're doing a great job, so we're getting that pulled together. A lot of vendors, fire trucks, and all sorts of different people from around the area. It's kind of I say fly-in, open house to get foot traffic into the airport, see what we do, get them in some of our aircraft. Cameron and I were just talking the other day about how we want to coordinate with ARH and layouts and where we want things, potentially looking at helicopter tours if we have enough foot traffic that day. And then as well, Jace McMullen, who is the teacher for that curriculum, and I went to the school board meeting on Monday, and we let them know what's going on. More than just the event, let them know what their students within their districts are doing so that they can actually see the fruits of their students' labor and they can join us as well. Any questions?
Young Eagle flights, we're doing those as well,
We
right?
are, yes, Young Eagle flights. So anybody who's got a family that is 8 to 18 years old can go on a free flight. As long as the weather is good, they'll do a quick ground school, sign a waiver. They can sign a waiver in advance. They'll do a quick ground school, then go out to the aircraft, do a short 15, 20, 30-minute flight out somewhere and back, and maybe get their hands on the controls. That is all aimed at getting kids into airplanes and just setting that bug in place, basically, for the future, which is exactly what we need. Anything else?
When's that been offered?
I'm sorry?
When is that?
The Young Eagle flights is also the fly-in date, April 15th. It's all being coordinated together.
Anything else?
So also, I believe Bentonville Airport's going to be shut down here soon for some runway improvements. Is that not right?
Bentonville Airport, yeah, is being shut down for the better part of a month because they are widening the entire length of their runway. I'm trying to find magical space to put their airplanes, but I can't. I can't do it. Not yet, at least. So they've got like 10 or 15 airplanes.
So we're expecting more traffic at the Springdale Airport, and at the end of this month, everybody on the airfield that are pilots and people that operate around there, we're having like a safety meeting with the tower and other things like that towards the end of the month to prepare for that shutdown.
When does that shut down?
Do you know when they're?
I don't
extending
know the
runway?
specific dates, but I can find out and
I thought
let
it was
Beth
in
know. And she
April
can,
or May, late April, May, something
Yeah.
like that. Maybe you know.
I should know, my coworkers should know. One thing to add is Siloam is also getting, they're doing a runway rehab there. That's happening sometime around the same time as Bentonville, so maybe sometime in the next 2 or 3 months.
Uh-oh.
okay, so we can expect a lot of additional traffic.
Yep.
Maybe only GA, but operations and operation.
Yep.
So.
Fuel cells may go way up.
They could, especially for, the Pistons, because I know Bentonville's got at least 15 aircraft that they want to move. And so that definitely, and they're not looking to, they don't have to keep the airplanes in a hangar. So a pretty good chance that they're going to be there no matter what. May, I'll probably be able to give you a pretty good idea of sales, the bump that has created if it's after that meeting is after the event is all finished up, or the closure is all finished up. No, I didn't realize Siloam was going down too, so that might be some turbine traffic. coming
Great
in as
time to
well.
shine.
If
Yes, sir.
both flight schools are going to be on the field during that 30-day period, do you and I need to do some coordination in regards to that to make sure?
My plan is that if that flight school comes to Springdale, we're going to move everything on the 12-stone ramp as far north as we can and just give them the most southerly part of that for tie down so they
Okay.
can operate out of that. As far as their logistics, their in-house stuff. I don't know what they're gonna do.
Well, keep me in the loop if I need to be involved in that conversation.
I will.
Okay.
Anything else for Daniel? Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Ernest, what do you have for us today? Just gracing us?
Well, I might be here for a discussion later in the agenda.
Okay. All right. Laura, operations report.
Today, no late fees. They've all been taken care of for this month. I think everybody's about to be current if they're not already. As far as the roofs go, we have 6 hangars that have been completed as of yesterday, and they just have to call off for weather. So we've got hangar 11, 12, 7, and 8 to go.
How's that process going?
It's going pretty well. The weather's been a big factor because of the springtime rain and all, but other than that, we've just coordinated with everybody, and everybody's been really good about either coming and pulling their own or allowing Summit to pull it. And we're getting them out in the morning, putting them back in the evenings, and everyone's been happy. Everyone's happy that since it's rained and they don't have any leaks. So
Yeah.
I've heard from a lot more people that theirs leaked and they just never said anything. So now they're glad that
Well,
they
that's
don't.
good that we got that done, getting that done.
Other than that, we're just watching the grass growing.
About to
Getting
be
ready
there,
for
aren't
that, getting all our mowers are all in for service, and we'll be ready to go when that's time.
we? Okay. James, activity report?
I don't have anything to add. Daniel's done everything. Cody's in an audit right now with the city, so he didn't give us our revenue report in time to get it, so
Okay.
everything's still moving along.
Okay. Any questions for Laura or James before we move on? All right, Greg. Garver's update. Got some good news for us.
Everybody uses that.
All right. So I'll just get started with the 4 projects that we've got going on are listed here on the left side of the screen. We've got the Taxway B Extension Project and the East Hangar Construction Project. I'll talk about those specifically later. I'll go ahead and hit on the Powell Hangar Reconstruction Project right now. We're still in design, working with the planning department to get that, get all of the information they need and get an application submitted them through their large-scale development process. We expect to do that by the end of March, which will put us in line to be able to open bids there at the end of May. And so that's kind of our timeline there. Open bids at the end of May, start construction this summer, and depending on when a metal building can show up, might decide when the end of construction of that project is. And I won't have an answer on that metal building timeline until we get a contractor selected, things like that. For the tower upgrades project, this is the next one. This is actually why I asked Ernest to come here today. Yesterday at the Arkansas Department of Aeronautics Commission meeting, we were awarded a grant for a 90-10 grant for $150,000 for the ASG tower upgrades project. So this will include replacement of any equipment up to this $150,000. What we're planning on using that for is replacing the voice recorder system as well as the radio. I'm looking at James to see if there's any more specific terminology for that. But like I said, we put the grant in, got it approved, and so now what we need to do is we've got 2 options. We can either Garver can go and design the project, and we can put it out to bid and get a contractor, and then go through that whole process, which could take 2 to 3 months before we can go through all those processes. Or, like I said, we asked Ernest here today, we can waive competitive bidding on this project and just select one of the contractors that already put a quote together for us. And what that'll allow us to do is allow the airport to save probably $15,000 to $20,000 worth of engineering fees to design the project, and it will also help everything come together in a lot less time. Rather than that 2 to 3 month window where Garver has to do our engineering bidding thing, we can just go straight to
go straight to the contractor, award a construction contract just like that.
There's
However,
very limited numbers of those guys anyways that are certified to do this, right? There's
correct,
3 or
and
4 of
so,
them out there.
and so we can't just waive competitive bidding for no reason at all, and so, the equipment that we're working with, there's only one manufacturer of it, so it's a sole source provider, which is I was talking to Ernest, which is a valid, reason for waiving competitive bidding. The other aspect that I think we can use to our advantage is it's a safety concern. If any of the remaining equipment in the tower goes down at any point in time, then we won't have any way for the tower to communicate with traffic. And so getting this project complete is a safety concern. So I think with those two reasons, that gives us enough, enough power to be able to go to city council and waive competitive bidding. And I was able to speak with Ernest a little bit prior to this meeting. So that process, what it looks like is we'll have to get approval here to waive competitive bidding. And then once we get approval here, we can go to city council and waive and take that same motion to city council and get that approved there. After we get approval from city council, then we can go ahead and award the contract, but accept the quotes from the contractors. There is one issue with that. However, the quotes that we have are a little bit outdated. So what we need to do is go make sure we get an updated quote. And so my plan is to have an updated quote for you all to consider at the next meeting. And then what we can do is we can waive competitive bidding at the next meeting and have a specific amount that we're planning on awarding to the contractor and to that specific contractor as well, which is what Ernest said will be required and what city council is going to be looking for. So,
Ernest, anything to add to that?
Think city council will do it?
So why don't we just speed it up now?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because you're talking next meeting and then planning or city council meeting, you're calling 60, 90 days out from now to even get started. Why couldn't we approve that now, especially with the safety concern?
You got the safety concern, you got one.
Do we have a quote
source.
in hand?
so we have the quotes that we have, and Laura, you might need to
6
help.
months old.
Sorry, you can go ahead.
I don't know how old it is.
The
Guesses.
I think the quote is from January. Is that correct? Maybe from even
Not
earlier
recent.
than that.
Last year.
Oh,
Okay.
say.
Oh,
So
I knew it was
it's
a long time ago.
yeah, it's an older quote, and then also it's two pieces of equipment. So we have two separate quotes, and one of those quotes is only for the procurement of the equipment, not the installation. And so what I'd like to do is get one contractor, give us a quote for everything there, and then we'll just have one number, one contractor to work with.
Well, with that 20,000 savings you're gonna give us, won't that cover that?
Yeah.
It's yes, I'm hopeful that it is, but I'm not sure what quote they're going to come back with. But I don't expect them to really gouge us on price over the last 3 or 4 months. I haven't seen large increases in those kind of prices. So
it doesn't sound like there's any action that needs done today until we hear back from you, so we can approve that.
correct, and
Could we make a motion that he is able to move forward if the new bid is within 10% of the old bid? Could we do something like that?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
So if I can ask a real quick question. You
Yes.
said waive competitive bidding and sole source provider. Those are two entirely different categories to go after. So is it a sole source provider?
the equipment is manufactured by only one supplier, one manufacturer.
Okay.
And
And it
then
can be installed by multiple people.
it can be installed by multiple
Okay,
people. Yes,
purchased
sir.
and installed, okay.
Sorry.
Do we have a,
So the quote that we have is from, and Laura, you might have to help me with this one. We've got two quotes here. Is Wolin who we would go back to get an updated quote from, or would we go with someone else?
This is the one, Mike got this one.
Okay.
That's only 35, 40 days old.
Yeah, that's not old at all.
This is
Not to exceed?
This is just for the recorder.
Okay, not
The
the
tower
install.
radio was the one that was done in January of last year.
Can you give me, so it was last January plus this, what is that total amount?
So this is our grant amount here, and so the one from the one that I just had pulled up that was from here recently was about $25,000, and then the whole voice communications control system came in just under $150,000. And so this was the budget that went in with our grant. So you can see there's some additional line items there, like for engineering, for construction. And so we'll plan on removing those from this budget.
So
That's-
what if,
So what
at
are,
200?
so what are you removing from the budget? The 20,000?
Engineering.
Right, these three numbers here would go. So we'd have about 48,000, 49,000 worth of savings from this total number here. Really, the only cost, cost we'd be looking at is this 175 for the construction equipment, the radio equipment.
We're only at risk for an upgrade or a higher price on the 150K though, because the 25 is new.
Right.
So if we gave him up to, not to exceed $200,000 and take that to city council,
We just think it's important to expedite this thing.
If we're gonna see extra traffic at the airport and we have a failure in some of our equipment, that's gonna cause a bad day. That's why I'm leaning towards the safety thing. And trying to expedite it.
so if the project is currently what we have, a year-old bid, or a 14-month-old bid for 150 and one that's last month for 25, we can give ourselves a $25,000 cushion to let him proceed.
Yep.
I'll make a motion that we give you the ability to proceed and get new updated quotes, and if the quotes are total 200,000 or less, then you go ahead and proceed with the city council, and we get the safety issue taken care of.
I would second that.
Is that legal, Ernest? We good?
Perfect. Okay.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second. Get a roll call vote, please.
Thomason,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Schoonover, Johnson,
Yes.
McCarron,
Yes.
Collier,
Yes.
Gardner.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We'll leave
Awesome.
that with you.
Great. Laura and I will work to get the quotes, and I'll make sure to report back what type of information we get. But I'll work with James to get it put on City Council's agenda as soon as we can.
So that's on the front burner with you, right?
Yes, sir.
On today.
You already got the glass replaced?
They're still, it's ordered.
Okay. Moving on to the next project. Let's see if I can find my mouse here. All right, so this is the Taxway B extension project. Last time, we had finished paving. The threshold on the runway was still relocated, so we had a shortened runway. Since then, we've been able to restore the runway to its full length. Markings have been installed. You can see some of these in the bottom left here. And today and this week, they've been working on installing final seed, sod, all of the restoration. We've got the fences up there on the east side, there next to the creek as well. I don't have any pictures of that available, but we are planning to issue their substantial completion today, and that was after a meeting that we had this morning. And all that means is we'll plan on having our final inspection next week, and so that any of the remaining items, they'll just have, generally we give them 30 days to finish up those items. But our plan is next week we'll perform the final inspection, make sure there's no FOD or anything like that that could impact us reopening the taxiway. And so then hopefully we can, assuming we find no FOD or no other issues, we'll go ahead and reopen the taxiway next week at that final inspection. And then, like I said, if there's any of those punch list or final inspection items that they need to work on, we'll make sure to coordinate with the tower for them to be able to get in there and address any of those items. However, we've had an observer there on site, and I've been out there every other week or so just to check on things. So there's no major items that I know of right now that are going to make it onto our punch list. There are some markings on the runway that need some touch up. So that's the only major item that I can think of to date. Otherwise, I expect the punch list to consist of cleaning up the taxiway or fixing a rut in the infield area, or maybe adding some more sod here or there, things like that. And then moving on with the schedule, like I said, final inspection planned for next week. And then the final part of this project is we'll have to get a flight check. The glide slope antenna and the PAPIs were impacted during this project, and so we'll just have to get the FAA to come in with their plane to check that those systems are operating again. And so that's scheduled for the middle of April. The reason for the long delay in that is the PAPIs that are out there, I don't know whether they got struck by lightning or they just encountered lightning damage, and so we're waiting on some parts to replace the PAPI circuit boards before we want to get that flight check scheduled. So we're looking at mid-April for that flight check.
What kind of cost is involved with that?
The flight check is included in the FAA grant, so there'll be no additional cost to the airport, but it's generally around 20,000, 15 or 20,000 for them to mobilize out there to get the plane there. However, there's a lot of other costs that the FAA that the FAA put on this grant because we're working near their equipment. So, for example, in our grant, there's about $90,000 worth of costs just to go to the FAA for them to do some on-site observation, for them to be available to answer our questions, for if they have to send out a technician to make any adjustments, and that also includes the flight check. So, I know that was a longer answer than you expected, but it's in the grant and it's more expensive than it should be.
What are the boards for the PAPI costing?
Laura, do you know that one?
I don't know.
Okay. That's one that wasn't part of this project because it was, we're considering that a maintenance item because it wasn't impacted by the construction.
To Micah's point there, though, depending on the dollar value of that, is that something that we should look to insurance?
Not enough.
Because lightning strike would be a covered loss. Okay.
Awesome. Any other questions about the taxiway project?
While you're in that area, since I know we've moved on from our hangar that we built there, I wonder, and this may be, you guys direct me if I'm wrong on this, but I wonder if we should put a sign up. We're about to have a bunch of Bentonville traffic. We have spots to grow, building sites available. Maybe we'll have some people from Bentonville that are using our airport for that month that would see a sign there saying, we have a spot to put hangars and you can move to Springdale. I wonder if we could put a sign up or something, like you do with a new neighborhood or.
Yeah, I've seen commercial property where they have a build to suit.
Yep.
Those big signs out there that says build to suit.
Wonder if something like that would catch some attention and there'd be some people that are, Bentonville's rehabbing their stuff, making
Yeah.
it nice, so it's gonna be tough, but they may also like the service Daniel provides and, may realize that they've always gone to Bentonville, never considered Springdale. After considering Springdale and using it for a month, maybe they realize there's some really big benefits of being centrally located instead of so far up north.
And having a controlled airspace too.
There's a less than voluntary exodus from Bentonville as well over the years, so there'll be somewhere to go.
That's certainly a talking point for you when they come down to let them know.
Yeah, I get maybe one person every month or two that's in Bentonville or was in Bentonville.
Should we do a sign like that? I don't know how much that would, $500 or so, we come up with a sign, we could put things like controlled airspace, build to suit.
Controlled airspace free.
I mean,
Control.
we could put things.
True, yeah.
Same customer care they get with the Bentonville Summit Aviation folks there, right?
Yeah.
With Bentonville.
Different company,
Oh,
but better than
I mean, should we come up with a sign and put something on 4x4s out there in the ground that shows them, like, we have a brand new building, they're gonna see red dirt where there isn't grass growing yet. They're gonna see that we're growing on that side.
Yeah.
I don't.
So you're offering to build them a hangar? You're saying build the suit?
Oh, that was Joel, he's the one. I mean, just the ability, like, when we started moving dirt, the number of people that came and talked to us about what was going on, they're gonna still see that dirt was moved, brand new asphalt out there, nice, big, beautiful hangar. I was just a thought that we could potentially put some advertising out there to try to gain some new customers for the airport.
Yeah.
I don't know what we need to do there. We don't know what month this is gonna happen anyways, right?
Next month, I think. I get the final numbers, like the dates, let you guys know.
You like that idea, Daniel?
I love that idea. That's gonna give me great information that I can send directly to the people who called me.
How do we put that
Might even be
together?
able to do a little tour of what we have there.
You know, more people want us to build hangars for them and no money to do it, so
Right.
that's been a reoccurring theme.
No, I think my only worry with that, Micah, is I think, are all of the readily available hangar spaces spoken for now? So,
And a waiting list.
right, and I guess what I'm saying is I think the area you're talking about is there on the east side, pretty much north of where we're putting our hangar. And so what that would take is another taxi lane and apron to be constructed, and that would either take us to get all on the same page for, you know, planning that project, or for whatever developer wants to come in and front that money. So this project is on the, it's not on the CIP, but it's close to it. We have estimates and everything ready for it. As soon as we find a good funding avenue for it, we're ready
How
to
about we just
jump
leave
on
that
it.
in Daniel's hands? He's gonna have a lot of face-to-face interaction with
Yeah.
them, and just let
We-
you spread the word for us.
We could look at printing this on a board, this map right here, and just print available.
Yep.
And put that right in the terminal for them to see if they come in, for Daniel to say, hey, here's future development sites.
Did
That's
we not, we had a sign like that one time
Price
when
is
we were
right
doing some
for that,
development
too.
out there, just to kind of showcase what our future plans were for the airport. That would be a great idea.
I just heard the latest for Bentonville closing is May 1st.
Okay.
From our tower. And he doesn't know about Silo.
So can y'all take care of that for us?
Mhm.
Let's plan on that. That's good.
Okay.
Greg, anything else?
Yes, East Hangar. So this project, since the last time we spoke, paving has been completed. You can see it. You can see the new apron completed here with the hangar adjacent to it. As of now, the only remaining items are going to be filling in dirt adjacent to this apron, putting seed, sod down. Markings have been installed. I've actually got a picture of the parking lot. This is the parking lot with the sidewalk and the parking lot blocks there. So we just got some cleanup work to do, and that's scheduled for next week to happen. After we get that cleanup work completed, then all we have to do is get a final inspection from the city. There'll be the planning department needs to come by, and the building department will need to come by to review this. However, the shell of the building, we've actually already gotten a temporary certificate of occupancy. That doesn't mean we can move in yet. But that just means they've accepted the building as it is. But next week, I'm hopeful that we can get this moving along. I don't want to promise that it'll be completed next week, but I'm hopeful that by the next meeting, we can have Daniel start putting some planes in there.
And then what's the status of the hangar next to it?
The hangar next to it, whenever we were out there, they've got I think they poured their concrete for their foundation. I don't know if that was this week or last week, but there's also some steel laying on the ground over there. So I'm not their contractor, or I don't talk to them every day, but I'd probably estimate 3 or 4 months left before that one gets opened up, just with time to erect the steel and get everything paved out for them as well.
Okay.
Those are all the updates I had. Are there any other questions? I'll bring the project list here.
Let's go back to Powell, the detention pond. What's the steps there?
And so that'll be reviewed alongside our large scale development submission. And so it's in design right now, but like I said, we're planning on submitting it by the end of March. And so then we'll have all of our answers. They'll review our drainage report and give us approval that they like our design. And I know we've talked about it before, but that'll include the detention pond will be sized large enough for the development of these 2 hangars that are kind of ongoing right here. This clear span hangar is one that we've talked about maybe 2 or 3 months ago. It's kind of the one that we've targeted as the airport's next hangar. I believe this is the milestone hangar, and then it'll also, the detention pond will include, that'll be large enough for all of the development along Powell Street over here, so.
And that's what's holding Steve Patton up, is for our large scale to go through.
Okay. Anything for Greg? All right, thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you, everyone.
Beth put in the back of your packet a newspaper article. I don't know if you guys saw that. Got a little nice pub from Lorinda Jenks there. You're welcome to take that with you, obviously. Any old business? Comments from commissioners? Go Hogs, we are adjourned.
Go Hogs.